Please ask your questions. But people will jump. Nobody has questions, is it?
Sir, one question.
Yes.
When Rajas qualities are told, generally they'll say it is competitive. And then Tamas, you are saying grabbing. Is there a difference there? Or?
Rajas, as I said, what will a Raja do? A Raja will say, whole wealth on this land is mine, but I will distribute all the wealth for you people, whoever is working. Tamas is the other way around. I'm not the king. I am the businessman, or I want to be a businessman, or I'm a thief. I want all the wealth on myself, onto me.
Okay. Okay.
You have to carefully use this.
Okay.
You cannot use this binarily, saying this is good, this is bad. It is not like that.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, beta. Yes.
Sir, I had a question. Why is the Sagittarius sign of a half human and a half horse? Like, what is the indication for that?
One is a horse would mean somebody who is running, who wants to move faster. Okay. Horse is the animal for transport. There are only two animals available in those days or three animals rather for transport. One is bullock cart, the other is a horse, the third is an elephant. Elephant is to show that you are a wealthy man. Bullock cart is for ordinary people who are, little below the Rajas. Horses are those people who would need to travel faster, who want to, move things faster because it's a fiery sign. Fiery things are very focused on time. I have a time-bound thing. I told this also in the Sagittarius thing. It's a time-bound thing. I want this to happen in this time. He has a timeline in place. He has a target in place. Both have to be met. If does not meet, then he will blame the people for those, or blame it on those people who did not achieve it.
Okay, sir. And secondly, sir, Pisces is a sign, it's a dark thing.
Yeah.
Like it's a colorless thing, it's a dark thing. Does Pisces also relate to no, not relate. Like, is it a sign of getting lost?
Yes. Pisces is losses. Yes.
Lost in the sense people who get
are lost in the world. They don't know what they're doing. Yes. Pisces is all that.
No, sir. People who are lost, like the family doesn't know where the man.
Possible.
Okay.
Possible.
Okay, sir.
Ustad.
Sir, I have a follow-up question on this one. Like Pisces contains that Revati nakshatra, whose deity is Pushan, which is said to guide you. He is the path walker.
Yeah.
So, how can that? I mean, I understand that 12th houses of the laws, it's Vyaya Bhav, but job of Pushan is to lead you in the right direction.
No. It's not like that. You're talking it in a binary sense. Now you're saying Revati cannot do any bad. Nothing does happen binarily. Okay. So if the Pushan does not guide you, you're lost, right?
Okay, and now I understand. For that, Pisces needs to be afflicted.
Correct.
So you will not get the help
Direction.
of Pushan.
Yes.
Okay.
See what elderly people will say. I heard it long back. I think in the recent movies of Telugu, about 15 years ago, I saw this, or this inspired me once again, that statement, wherein, if you're happy for the deeds that you have done, or if you have done good karma, the Pushan will be visible to you and he will be guiding you. Although Pushan will be taking you, if you did bad karma, he will be invisible and you will think I'm guided by no one. Okay, I cannot prove this. Okay, don't come back to me and say, have you seen the Pushan? You cannot see the Pushan. Ustad,
Okay,
go
I
on
get
mute.
it. I get it. Okay, I get it. And so, how much truth is there in the statement that a planet derives its power from its Moolatrikona sign?
A lot of people use this, but because we are using the nakshatras, I don't think we need to use this much. That is right also. The
Okay.
Moolatrikona sign is where the office is. So the planet tries to work or seek the power from there. Even Deepanshuguri student, a lot of people will use that. But it depends on how you're using it. It's a lot confusing. So I don't use it. I use the D1 nakshatras and they work like very good for me. I'm very happy using the tattvas of the Rashis in the divisional charts. So why bother about that? And what are you trying to achieve is more important than understanding that concept.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing what I've understood from that is that statement is, if you have, for example, the Leo is the sun's Moolatrikona. If you have a planet like Rahu or Saturn placed there in the Moolatrikona of the sun, what the Panchagiri opined was, then your sun is not the sun. It is the Rahu or the Saturn being carried there. Okay.
I did not understand that. Can you
Okay,
repeat?
so let us suppose the office is the Moolatrikona, and if you want to understand what your sun is doing, what Deepanshu Giri's lecture was, because that is where the first time I heard I think a lot of people are using that now. I don't know previously if it was invention of Deepanshu Giri or somebody else, but that is where I heard. So he said that the Moolatrikona of the planet is X. For example, if it is sun you're trying to analyze, and if in the Moolatrikona of sun's place, there is Rahu or Saturn who are against the sun, right? Saturn does not like the sun. Rahu does not like the sun. Now, your sun is not the real sun now. Your sun has the power of Rahu or Saturn because it is sitting in the Moolatrikona of the sun.
So, sun is rendered powerless.
That is why I'm saying. So
Okay.
he only gave half the principle. The other side of it is, if the Saturn or the Rahu is favorable for you, that sun will work favorable for you. That is what the concept was. But that becomes a lot confusing because Saturn stays there in that Rashi for 2.5 years. So all through will your sun be bad? I mean, sometimes it doesn't fit that way, because there will be a lot of ifs and buts and a lot of exceptions. Have you understood
Yes.
what I said? Because Rahu
Yes.
will
Now,
stay there for 18 months. Saturn will be there for 2.5 months. You may debate and say, look, for the first 10 degrees is what is the Moolatrikona of the Leo. So as long as Saturn is there in that particular zone, you may say, but still, that 10-degree zone for these two planets will be a huge thing. It will be like, at least for a year's time.
okay, then it's quite debatable thing.
See, my sincere advice to anyone who is doing Jyotish is use nakshatras in D1. They will work like miracle, no doubt.
Well, okay.
No doubt. And only in the Navamshas use the Rashi Tattvas. That's why I did not teach the Rashis till now. Use Rashi Tattva in Navamshas and the Dashamshas or any other divisional charts, they will work very well. I believe Parashara wanted to use this kind of a system.
Okay.
This is my belief. I'm not trying to say that I'm right.
No, I'm not. I'm not questioning that. And sir, Rishis mentioned that D1 chart as Rashi chart,
Correct.
but we are only using nakshatras as of now in Rashi chart and seeing the Rashi in other Varga charts. So why did the Rishi name it the Rashi chart if they wanted to see nakshatras only rather than the Rashis?
You get Parashara, Brihat Parashara, Hora Shastra. He will write this before the Rashi Tattvas. He wrote the nakshatras first.
Yes.
That is why I'm using it.
No, but we are kind of overlooking Rashis in the Rashi chart. And we are using nakshatras exclusively. And we are looking Rashi only in the
The reason is Rashis were mentioned just before the Navamsha was started.
Okay, now you answer my question.
Hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. And will the southwest become the 9th house or 8th house? Southwest direction in the chart.
Hmm.
What will it represent? 9th house or 8th house?
Astro Vastu, you're asking.
No, I'm just asking because you mentioned it, like the person will sit in the Pujari will ask the person to sit in the southwest direction so that he can look at the east and the north direction you
No.
mentioned.
Based on the Vastu, if you're running a company, okay, let us suppose if you own a company and you have a building to sit. Okay, I think it is very prominent all across India. A lot of people know this already. Do you know a bit of Vastu, a little bit?
I don't think I know anything. So,
Okay, that is the reason you do not know. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for being honest. So the Vastu guy comes up and says, if you are the Malik, if you are the owner of the company, you sit in the southwest direction. From the south, if you sit in the southwest, just assume what you can see northeast will be the diagonal corner for you, correct? If you draw a line from southwest, the diagonal will be northeast. So you'll be very easily able to see both the east and the north.
Yes.
So north will provide you the money, east will provide you the jnana.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. But again, that doesn't answer that. Will it be the 9th house or the 8th house? If we see it from the Rashi chart or chart point of view.
I don't know where from that 8th house or 9th house came. Why not the first house?
No, if we take the chart, the east is the first house. Okay, west is the 7th house.
This is Astrovastu.
No.
That's what I'm asking. So you are saying.
Okay, I don't know Astrovastu. I just asked it spontaneously from the lecture. That's why. I just connected it to the chart. That's why I'm asking.
No, it is not like that. I'll tell you the directions are different. If you're
Okay.
using a D1 chart and if you post Lagna there and you're using Rashis are also there, then each nakshatra has a direction also. Okay.
Okay.
Each
That
nakshatra
I
has a
think
direction also.
that Sarvata Bodh thing
Not
which
Sarvato
people
Bhadra.
use.
No, the nakshatra itself has a direction. It is mentioned in the Brahmanas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Later then.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Don't worry. Hold Vastu for some time. I will give you that. A lot of people have done a lot of things. They said 10th house is center of the house, 9th house is southwest, 8th house is southwest. There are already clashes up there. But instead of that, if you use the nakshatras directions, they work much better. And you take the direction in the D10 when you're trying to change cities.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll teach you that. Hold your horses.
The other people can also ask questions because I have a lot more.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. Other people will. I'll give time to everyone. Let you one complete.
So I read a statement. Garbhavase mahadukam trahimam madhusudanam. So third house I believe is the conception.
Third house is the Maithuna. 9th house is the conception.
Okay. And 4th house is the womb, I think so.
That is debatable. 9th house is the womb and 4th house is also the womb, because 4th house is where the Jupiter exalts, is the Jiva, and Jupiter's Moolatrikona is in the 9th house. So for the women, it is the 9th house. For men, it is the 4th house.
Because the statement says Garbhavase mahadukam. I thought 4th house was the womb, and 4th house we take for Sukhasthan.
No. Read that sentence completely. I'll tell you what it is.
Garbhavase mahadukam trahi mam Madhusudanam.
No, who is that? You have to read it from the end. Who is that Madhusudana?
Madhusudanam is Krishna over here. The
Okay,
person
so
is crying to Krishna.
Okay, what did you
That
hear?
in,
What did you hear in the lecture of? Do you remember the nakshatra lectures?
I think I won't remember the exact thing.
Okay, so did you hear Bharani?
Yes, I did. Oh, okay. This is the Bharni thing. Okay, now I remember.
This is Bharani. Now, Bharani has which deity?
Yama.
Okay. Where is the opposite of, where is the enemy of Yama?
Oh no.
Ariyama.
Ariyama becomes Ariyama, that is in Purva Falguni.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
What does Ariyama mean?
The opposite to Yama.
What does
Who
it mean?
doesn't follow Niyam.
No.
Of Yama.
He's the enemy of Yama. What is Yama doing?
Yama is
Taking people's
Yama is taking away the life of you, right? You're being killed by Yama.
oh,
yes.
What is
Okay.
Ariyama doing? Vishnu. Vishnu is the sustainer of life.
He's giving life.
No, not giving
Okay.
life. He's sustaining life.
Okay.
Both are different. Giving life is Brahma.
Okay.
Vishnu is as long as Vishnu's blessings are there, you are living on the earth. The moment the Vishnu goes off, Yama comes into picture. It is just the same coin. He just turns into Yama.
Okay.
Okay, so Bharani and Purva Phalguni are connected. Okay,
Yes.
both lot of people think these are Sukra nakshatras. No, it is not like that, because they fall in the same triangle. Purva Shadha, Purva Phalguni, and Bharani. All three are connected by water. Okay, now read this sentence once again, which you said. The shloka.
Garbhavase.
What do you have in the
Mahadukkham.
Garbhavasa? You have all water.
Yes. Now I understand.
Over.
Nice.
Mahadukhe, because you are completely cramped. You don't have room there. That is why Mars is debilitating in the 4th house. And that is the
Yes.
womb also.
Totally. Now totally I got it. If you see from the nakshatra point of
Mahadukha
view.
would mean when you cannot move or when you cannot help yourself. As long as you are in the water, you cannot help yourself. That is what I tried to say even today as well. Okay.
True.
Yeah.
Should I move to the next question now?
If your question is answered.
Yes, totally.
Yes, go ahead.
We do see donations from the 12th house. Do we see gifts also from the 12th house?
I don't believe that you will see only one house for donations. For donations, there are 2-3 things that you have to see. How does a donation start? First is you have to feel that you should donate. It does not mean that you are rich, right? If that is the case, only rich people are donating. But most of the donations are done by the poor people or the lower middle class people. Okay. I mean, I'm talking about the total money or the money that they earn, and you have a proportion of it. Most of the middle class people or the lower middle class people donate more. And the more the upper class you become, it becomes very difficult for you to donate. Or the percentage drastically goes down. Okay. Now your moon is responsible for this. Your Mercury is responsible for this. Okay. And then your Lagna is responsible for this. Then comes your 12th house. 12th house is the act of donation. It is not the, the initiator of the donation.
Okay.
Now you ask the question, rephrase your question and ask me, what have you asked?
Wait a minute, let me write first.
So why Mercury?
Mercury is the buddhi.
Okay.
It controls the mind and mind controls the buddhi. That is why they are father and son.
But then, so donation is coming from heart, not from buddhi. It is coming.
Buddhi logic will tell you don't have money. This week you have expenses to move out of the city. So let me not donate. I only have 200 rupees. The ticket is 50 rupees. The living elsewhere is some more money. So I'm only left with so much. Although I have the mind to donate, manas to donate, but my buddhi will say I don't have enough money. Second is Mercury is the money itself. If you don't have the money, you have the mind only to donate, but you don't have money.
Yes, yes, understood.
Now, I asked that we do see donations from the 12th house, and the answer to it I have got is we see the act of donation from 12th house. For donation itself, we'll see multiple things like
Correct.
Moon, Mercury.
Yes.
And my one more question was that whether gifts are also associated with 12th house. That's the rephrasement.
So, I mean, you giving away the gifts or you receiving the gifts?
Nee, if I want to gift someone,
It's just the same donation.
okay, so both will be same. And again, on similar lines, we do see dreams from 12th house.
Yeah.
But we also call our desires and wishes as I have a dream for XYZ.
Yeah.
So will 12th house be taken for that or
Yes.
only 11th?
12th
Yes,
house is
okay.
is the root of the 11th house, right? Count 12th from the 12th.
Yes, 11th. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Root of the
And
11th house is 12th from the 12th. So your desire comes from the 12th house actually.
And so for bad dreams like nightmares, we should see 8th house and 3rd house.
12th house once again.
Okay.
Or 4th house, 8th house, 12th house. These are the dream places.
Okay. Okay.
Because you need sukha, you need to sleep for a dream, right? You need a good bed. That's the 4th house. 8th house is, it should be a ratri. That is the 8th house is setting sun. 12th house is deep sleep. So 4, 8, and 12 are connected to each other, and they are the cause of the dreams.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't have bad planets in the 12th house, but you may have bad planets in the 8th or the 4th house. It's very difficult for you to sleep. Okay. Not just the 12th house will do. Sometimes you have so many debts, right? Many people have debts and they can't sleep. You know, I'm highly debt trodden. So how would I sleep? That's the 6th house afflicted. And 6th house looks at the 12th house. You cannot generalize, or you cannot say, look, I will look on this thing only from one house. That is why I'm not using houses here in the Rashi chart. Otherwise, what happens is you may come to a conclusion saying, look, even your 7th house is responsible. Your 1st house is your wife is giving you doldrums. Okay, what would you do? She's always throwing the bonkers at you. What would you do? You can't sleep. So your 7th house as well is responsible. Right? It can be your father, it can be your mother. Anything can affect the dream thing or sleep thing.
Okay. So should I move to the next question because this one is answered?
Okay.
So you keep reiterating that horoscopes were meant for kings. This is what Rashis kept in mind while writing.
Correct.
Since the horoscopes are meant for kings or states, so no matter what you have in your personal horoscope, it will draw its energy from kings or states horoscope in the first place. Am I correct?
No.
Okay, then the question is defunct of its value.
It is not correct. Because the people did not have aspirations to become anything. The original horoscopes were not relevant. Today, people are aspiring to become something. Everybody has aspirations. In older world, they cannot aspire. There are reasons many. You cannot be wealthy. If you are in a place, the Raja decides how much wealthy you can be. Even now, the governments decide how much wealthy you can be. It is not very easy to be very, very super rich or something. You need the support of the Raja, wherever you are.
So that's why I was asking that why should we not see, like for a demon
But
chart,
you're not super rich. You can. I'm not talking about the super rich people. For us, like people who are aspiring to be, I will become a Malik of 200 crore rupees. In India, just look at how many people will have 200 crore, although they must have not disclosed it to public. But a lot of people already have 200 crore rupees. Okay. You will not even know. Right? Okay. So your thing will not be influenced by the government. Only the super rich are controlled by the government.
Okay. Then this also gets answered. So for Venus, you said that Venus controls is the natural ruler of the second house, and it gets exalted in the 12th.
Right.
And we take it for donations and charity purposes.
Venus is a socialist.
Yes. And should we take it for expenditures also, the personal expenditures?
Yes.
Okay. That also gets answered.
Venus can be very bad in the 12th house as well, who is constantly looking at somebody who is, sorry for the word, but that's the right word, who is looking at prostitutes or spending money in bad ways. Even that is responsible for Venus, second house, seventh house connected, establishing bad relationships as well. It depends. To see 12th house is a very tricky house. It depends on how you're trying to use it.
Yes, it's the end of the cycle. The final test happens there.
Yes, that is how that is a test happens. Correct. That is how you are approaching towards the Pushan. Pushan will tell you if he is visible. Otherwise, he is not visible, and you will be thinking nobody has come to take me, and that's why you are in dukkha.
Nice.
I think I should stop using you. I think I should say I. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Question for this. Like some people have a tendency of spending too much. They cannot keep money.
Correct. That is also Venus.
That is also Venus?
Yes.
So that affliction of Venus.
Not necessarily affliction of Venus. That as plain it is, the more is the spending. If it is afflicted, he'll keep.
Okay, the purer, in the sense is the, how do we say, the placement?
The unafflicted Venus is more spending.
Okay. So then in that case, the remedy should be afflicting Venus, sir?
Yes, you have to afflict Venus. Yes.
Oh, is it so? Acha, okay.
Yeah, you have to afflict, you have to control your Venus.
Yes, that is the reason I was asking.
Because Venus exalts in the 12th house, so you have to control your Venus, right? You're going to give away a lot of things. You're going to show up a lot of things to the world. Please don't show up so much.
So in that case, what do we do, sir?
We'll come to remedies 1 year later, not now, because the moment I give a remedy, people will ask 100 questions. And
no, sir, I'm not asking remedy. I'm just asking that the affliction of Venus, should it be done by help of a planet or like with sign?
That's a remedy, right? That's what you're asking. You can do a lot of things. You can control your Venus. That's what I said.
Okay.
So it will mean a 100-page story.
Okay,
You can
sir.
write whatever you want. The keyword is control your Venus.
Okay, sir.
Think into Sunya, you will get a lot of understanding. And into space, if you keep thinking, the cosmos will give you the answer.
So
And
Venus and Rahu also gives expenditure.
Rahu amplifies Venus. But please use these things very judiciously, okay, carefully. You cannot just ignore Lagna. Everything is ignored and you're just mixing up Sukra and Rahu and you're not using any nakshatras. Nothing will work. You're just wasting your time. That's all. Making useless predictions for the person. Because see, if you're making a prediction as an astrologer, it should be useful to the person who is seeking the prediction. You are giving, if you're saying Sukra and Rahu, okay, you are spending more. What is the prediction that you're making? Anybody will say, yes, I'm spending more. Nobody is going to say in the world that I'm spending less. You ask anyone in this world while giving consultation, if somebody says, look, you are spending more. A lot of astrologers, right? They're very tricky people. They'll say some of these words like, nobody will say no to this. You're spending more. And the office, right? You are actually getting low salary than what you are worth. Everybody will say yes. I mean, these are very such funny closed-end questions, right? You cannot say no to these things. You're an intelligent person, but nobody respects you so much. These are the such things that you cannot say no to these things. If you say no to the such things, then it means that you're like a rishi or someone.
So these are the bait that nowadays
Yeah, these are bait things. I mean, people use it for the benefit, and that fellow will, whoever seeks the consultation will think, oh, wow, what an astrologer he was. Ustad, you're done with your questions?
No, I'm not done.
Complete your questions. I'll give the chance to others.
So where was I? Yeah, this one. I want to ask a follow-up question on this, although you might not answer it. Like, do
Hmm.
planets work in tandem? Like the lady was asking to afflict Venus or whatever.
Yes,
So, like, if we
all
increase
the planets will work in tandem.
my question was not, I think, complete. Let
Okay,
me.
go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Like, if we increase Mercury or Rahu, say Jupiter will automatically decrease, and if we decrease Sun and Moon, Saturn will automatically increase. Is this the situation? That's what I was
Yes,
asking.
more or less, you are right.
So we should be even more careful with all this then.
Yes,
Okay.
more or less, you're right. As I said, you have to use the
Hmm.
nakshatras first because that is where from
Hmm.
the planets are drawing the energy. A little while ago, you asked me if the planets
Hmm.
will draw the energy from their Moolatrikonas.
Hmm.
I said yes, but more importantly than that, planets are drawing the energy from wherever, whichever nakshatra they are placed in, because they are grahas. They have to seek, right?
Hmm.
Grahana
Yes.
means seeking.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, they have to seek the
And
power from somewhere. And for an event to happen, a lot of people are thinking that one planet is responsible. No, all the 9 planets will be responsible for an event, or at least 5 should cause the event. That is when the event will happen. Now you will say, if that
hmm.
is the case, how can I do a remedy? But there will be an initiator of the event. So for that planet, we are doing the remedy.
Hmm.
If you look at somebody has to remain unmarried, like I'll give you an example. I was
Hmm.
looking at a guy's chart where the person remained unmarried. Okay, when I just saw the chart, I did not have to ask him. I knew that he remained unmarried. But the fun thing, uh, uh, I think his Lagna Lord, both were in Pushyami. It is a Pushyami Lagna, Pushyami Chandra. Moon is also in the Lagna. The fourth Lord is somewhere. Its dispositor is in Purvashadha. Look at Purvashadha. Purvashadha is Ganga, right? His mother is Ganga. That means what? What is this man?
He is his mother is he is himself
Bhishma.
that
He is Bhishma, right? So he is
Bhishma,
unmarried.
yes.
He's unmarried, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, things will connect in such a way that everything will show that this man is unmarried. I mean, I have used all the planets, and all the planets were saying that this is a brahmachari thing, even before I moved into the Navamsha. Anyway, I have listed down all those 5-7 or 7-9 combinations that anyway they existed. So I said, you did not marry, is it? He said, yes, I did not marry. And he was not surprised because he knew that, because he came from the Telugu thing. He knew that because I did a lot of example charts in Telugu, which I did not do any at all in the English thing. So
Hmm.
once this Rashis are over, we will pick a few example charts, bring some charts, especially on the Navamsha and who are divorced. Okay, we will first understand the marriage thing, bring more charts during the next 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks later, we will start doing examples, especially on divorced charts. Bring in charts. I mean, I want you guys to bring in your charts so that we'll see them in the class. And
Could I ask a follow-up question on the example you gave?
yeah,
Like you said that the fourth lord was connected to Purvashada
this
in that person's
fourth
case.
dispositor. Yeah, fourth lord's
Okay,
dispositor. Yeah.
Okay. So should we see that her mother or his mother, whatever the chart was,
Yeah.
should have separated
Yes,
for the Gang?
she also separated. She's living separately. She's more
Okay.
yeah, all that happened.
So through that you should have been able to confirm that Purvashada is absolutely working.
Yes, 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 yes,
Mhm. Okay.
yes.
And you said about the debility of Mercury. Everything dissolves in Pisces, whereas Mercury needs things regarding Mercury
Yeah,
debility
yeah.
separated, labeled, marked. That's what Mercury wants in order to make sense of things. But Pisces is abstract and it's hard to make sense when everything is everything. Like everything is dissolving into
Correct,
a single thing.
correct.
So that's why Mercury.
It's called
Okay,
as
that's
Jala Pralaya, or when the whole world turns into water, there is no more earth available. That is correct.
Yes. Okay.
Hmm.
And one more question. Karakatvas versus Lord versus placement. Okay. So when we see a house, let's say, for a result, so the prime importance, you will say give it to the nakshatra. That I understand.
Yeah.
After that, let's say second importance, in should we give it to the Karakatvas,
No,
then Lord, then
no,
placement?
I'll give you the next thing. Okay. I'll give
Okay.
you an analogy. How do I look at?
Hmm. That's what
Uh,
I want to know.
Although it is right now very primitive for because we have not I've not taught you Navamsha yet. If you're just looking at the Rashi chart alone right now and you've seen that this is the nakshatra or something, for example, you take the same Pushyami thing, okay? The Pushyami thing, if you have read, understood what the nakshatra is all about, then you will say that there are three possibilities of having a problem. Why does a person come up to you? Is because he has a problem. That's why he came up. Okay. Although we, as an astrologer, we try to counsel him, we try to tell him the good things about him, but that's what I do. I mean, I first use the first 15-20 minutes to assure him that these are those good things or those events that happen to him, if there are any. These are those events. Look, is this event matching? Is this event matching, etc.? And he would many of the times he would say yes, this happened. Sometimes he would say no, this did not happen. Then I move the lagna, the time a little bit, maybe 5 minutes up and down, so that the navamsha changes, etc. Now, coming back to the example of the Pushyami thing, let us suppose you take Pushyami. Pushyami is such a nakshatra where there can be three different problems. Okay, one is not getting married. Pushyami is not very good for marriage, right? Or having difficulties in relationships. Both would mean the same, right? Difficulty in establishing a relationship or a marriage, or not having kids. These three things can be possible in Pushyami. Now, if the Lagna, I'll give you an example. The Lagna is in Pushyami. The Lagna Lord is in 5th house. So this can show a kid problem. Okay. If the Lagna Lord goes to the 7th house, this may show a family problem, or not able to establish the family is the problem. Or the 9th house also. And again, it goes into the Revati, then it can show that it can be a kid problem because Revati has the Vatsa. Okay. You need to just see, because Lagna Lord we have not used as yet. That is reserved for the next session, how we use it, and then use the, I would still use the nakshatra at the second level, which I will teach. Then I will go into the Navamsha.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question was that if it's going to the 5th, let's say, then
Okay.
should we not give importance to Jupiter because it is the Karakatva there?
I don't use Karakas much.
Okay, that answers my question.
I don't use Karakas much for
Okay,
different
okay.
reasons, because I feel that that can be very misguiding sometimes.
Dicey. Yes, I too. I also find the nakshatra way to be the best, but still I'm asking because I'm learning.
See, if you're using the Karakatvas, then you may have to say that if you find Shukra in the 6th house, 8th house, I don't know what else. You may have to say this is Bhragushatka, that is, 8th house Venus. These are bad for marriage. But if you see, not necessarily they are. Okay. Not necessarily they are. That much I can say.
Okay, it answers my question. And you mentioned about the windy part in Aquarius, that the person can have problems related to Vata.
Correct.
And you also said that the person is very intelligent. But I also find the same nature in 3 nakshatras. It automatically got connected. Ardra, that also is storm and wind.
Yeah.
Swati,
Yes.
it is also
Storm and
windy.
wind.
And
Yeah. So it's
Shatabhisha.
wind. It's wind.
Shatabhisha is also very
Windy.
of the similar nature.
Yep. Correct.
And so nakshatras do pinpoint things, and
Yes.
their accuracy is very much higher. Then
Yes.
Rashi will confuse you.
Correct.
I mean, at least it does me. So
No,
that's why
it
such
confuses
questions
me.
come.
That is why I'm using only nakshatras is only because of that. It is not that I do
And
not know the Rashi. I know the Rashi.
mm, and seeing the Rashi in the Navamsha is another thing. You are right in that. I can see that now difference. And one more question actually I have, if I can ask.
Yeah, go ahead. We have enough time.
So, although you have not taught Dasha, but you said to you in one of your lectures I was watching, you said use the variation. And
Correct.
when we use the variation, let's say Shematara variation, we are using for sixth house placements.
Yeah.
So I was getting the results for both. The from Janmatara also I was getting some shades, not only shades, very much the events, and also from the Shematara.
Right.
And I was confused whether the variation, should we use that or should we only go with birth only, or
Good.
the variation. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Whether the variation is only applicable for the Navamsha part only.
Correct. That is very correct. You have to use variation
Is that
only.
so?
Yes, only for Navamsha. For Dashamsha, you have to use plain Dasha.
Oh, that's why. Now
Yes.
I get it.
Okay.
I was totally confused. Like for the general events also, I will use the normal.
Yes. For all the when you are using Dashamsha, you use normal Dasha.
Okay.
Okay.
Now it gets cleared. One final question. The actually two. Rahu and Ketu both are the nodes of the moon.
Correct.
And Rahu is the overthinking and Ketu is the carelessness.
No, both can be
No.
overthinking. Both can be carelessness.
Okay.
One can
Okay.
be careless for one thing, the other can be careless for other things.
Okay.
Rahu does not care what the gods are thinking.
Hmm.
Ketu cares what the gods are thinking and what the other people are not thinking. He doesn't care. Rahu cares for other people.
Ketu thing, can you repeat?
Ketu cares for the gods.
Okay.
Ketu does not care for what the people are thinking here because he doesn't have eyes to see, right? He can only see the antarnetra. That means something that is inside.
Oh,
The
okay. Okay.
manonetra is only there for because it lies in the heart. Okay, the heart is with the
Hmm.
Ketu. That is the
Hmm.
manonetra. That means that is where the eye is. That is the third netra we have, which we will see the upper the sky. Look at the sky and see the gods are seeing us. Rahu doesn't have it. Ketu
Hmm.
only has that. It doesn't have the normal eyes because there is no head, right? So he is not going to look at the world. The world is absent
Hmm.
for Ketu. The world is only present for Rahu. The gods are not present for him.
Okay. Okay. And if you don't have Jupiter, you
Hmm.
can't bring things together to achieve your goals. Jupiter is Akash Tattva, it brings things together. Without it, you can't see the big picture. I mean, you can have everything. Since we were talking about Capricorn today, like you can do all your efforts.
Hmm.
But if you have, let's say, a curse of a guru and your Jupiter is damaged, then
Hmm.
I don't think your efforts will bring anything to fruition, because just like Mirgashira or Shatabhisha, you will come to that point, final point, but you will not be able to achieve it. You will
Hmm.
come to stand still. Like
Hmm.
you will forget, like Hanuman forgot his Vidya.
Hmm.
Same thing.
Hmm.
Am I right on thinking on those lines?
Brihaspati is the swasha. Swasha means breathing in and breathing out. If that is not there, then whatever we think is useless. And Brihaspati, if you look at the astronomy, as the NASA or the other people, the ISRO is saying that if the Jupiter did not exist, Earth cannot exist because Jupiter is the biggest attractor
Yes,
of all
yes.
the asteroids and all those things. So
Deflects, it deflects
all the bad things, either it attracts or deflects
from Earth's orbit.
from Earth's orbits, correct.
Hmm.
And it
Hmm.
actually attracts to itself and it takes everything.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
Hmm. But my understanding regarding Jupiter has increased multifolds after I watched your Panchang video, in which you stated it rules the Akash Tattva, and Akash Tattva
Yeah, that is
is
the first
very,
video that I did, correct.
yes, yes, and it is the binder.
Correct,
Like it is the technology which will bring together everything, like
correct,
Mercury, Saturn, everything. It will bring together and form a thing.
correct.
So you won't be able to. You may have all the knowledge in the world, but you will, or if you want to bring it together and actually have the happiness
Yeah.
of that thing,
Yeah.
you need Jupiter. That's why I came to conclusion that Mrigashira and Shatabisha, they both lack the end point. I don't think they have blessings of the Jupiter.
Yeah,
Both
because
nakshatras.
Mrigashira is ruled by moon, right? Moon is against the Jupiter is against the moon.
Soma.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And yes, one more question which I forgot to do. Like moon, you said see moon and Soma as different.
Correct.
And see Cancer as a different thing. Cancer is more pious than the moon. Moon
Yeah.
has been, like Soma has been involved in a lot of bad things.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. See, that is why moon has not given up one of his houses. Look at sun. Sun ruled all those houses from the Leo till Aquarius. Leo till Capricorn. And moon was ruling all these houses till these Pisces or the Aquarius. Moon retained one of those houses. Look at him. Okay. Although Venus was ruling it, and Venus and Moon are Shatrus, complete enmity between Moon and Venus. Still, it made an office in the Venus thing. Why? Because it is an earthy sign.
Yes.
Right? Although it is an enemy sign, I would still want a part of it because it is an earthy sign, and that is where I can live happily. Earth is what I want. I need earth, is what the moon will think. Moon will be there as long as the earth is there. That is why Mercury is its beloved kid. You look at all the all the planets enmity from the Moolatrikona of the moon, friends and enemies of moon and neutrals of moon. If you see, all the planets are neutral to moon except for Mercury. Mercury is his only friend because it rules the second and the fifth houses from the Moolatrikona. You all guys know this, right? From the Moolatrikona, whatever houses that you are ruling, if they fall in the 3, 6, 7, 10, and 11 houses, these are enemies, and anything other than that is all, friends. I think we've talked about this even in the past as well.
Yes.
So moon, although moon's kid is Mercury, and Mercury's biggest enemy is moon.
Yes.
Mercury thinks I should not respect moon because he is the fellow who has actually spoiled my birth thing. Right? So Mercury is an illegitimate child because of the moon. So I do not like my father, is what the Mercury thinks. And Mercury doesn't respect the moon, but moon needs the Mercury. Yeah, we talked about all this.
And one more reason I was asking the Moolatrikona question was because you get the clear picture if you see it, like in this case, if we see it from the Moolatrikona of the moon.
Yep.
That's why I was asking, why don't we see it from the exaltation point? Why don't we see it from the natural house point? I mean, I've seen many astrologers saying, see it from the Moolatrikona. Why do they say that? I mean, why do they not see it from the exaltation point? They don't say that.
Because exaltation point is not his house. Moolatrikona is where he thought this should be my place of sitting. I should sit here. This is where is the ideal point that I should sit and work. That is the office of mine.
But it is, we can also see it from their own sign. No, but they don't say it. They say it, especially Moolatrikona.
Yeah, because that is my office.
From office. Okay, karma. It is all about karma. Okay, then. That logic can be taken. But okay. And one thing which you haven't taught, sir, which you said that you will take a class on is retrogrades. I think that is the only thing left.
Retrogression, please hold on. After Navamsha, I will teach. But simple thing is, the farther it is moving from the sun, the more is the retrogression. So sun is the planet that is delivering all the results of all the planets. Sun will deliver all the results of all the planets. Okay. So if the planet moves very far away from the sun, sun will say, look, I'm giving you all the responsibility onto you now. Now you deliver the result. Now it will depend on that planet. And if that planet decides that a bad result has to be given to this fellow, bad result is delivered. A good result has to be given to this fellow, a good result is delivered. Otherwise, he delivers the whole result through the sun, if he is very close to the sun in non-retrogression.
So that
Conceptually, it is like that.
So that planet conceptually has the power of the sun in our chart.
Yes.
Oh, okay. In short, okay.
Or because see, if it is opposite to sun, if sun, let us suppose Jupiter is retrograde, is in maximum retrogression. When it will be in maximum retrogression, the farthest he is away from the sun. When these Jupiter and sun are exactly in 180 degrees from each other, then it is in the highest amount of retrogression. This is very simple to understand. Anything that goes exactly into the 7th house from the sun will receive the highest amount of light from the sun. Correct?
But you said look 4th house from the sun.
No, that's a different concept. Conceptually, that is very different. Anything standing against the sun will receive the highest amount of sunlight. Simple terms.
Okay.
Right? Because you're standing exactly against each other. Now, because it is far from the sunlight is completely on that planet, and that planet actually radiates all that light back onto Earth, whatever it is what Correct? Now, if the planet is Asta, or the planet is actually set, or the planet is actually, what is that called?
Combust.
Okay. Yeah, combust. You cannot see it from the Earth, because the light of sun is so much that you can't see it.
Oh, now I understand.
Now sun delivers the result on behalf of that planet. The simple concept is that now if sun becomes the king to deliver that planet thing, even if that planet is a benefic, if sun thinks that you're not worth of this, then he will not deliver that result to you. Or if the planet reports to sun that, look, this guy may be given only 10 rupees, but sun thinks he's worth more, then sun will give you more. See, conceptually, this is the thing.
Very nice.
Second thing is, when the retrogression happens, what happens is, because sun has given me the responsibility, I have to behave very responsibly now. Okay. Now, if I do a mistake, what I will do, bachcho ko we give pencils, right? We give pencils to the kids. Why? Because they will commit mistakes. They can rub off with an eraser and use the pencil once again to write the correct thing. And as we grow, we take up pens, because elders are, less at committing mistakes, is what we think. Anyway, that's a different thing. Now, a planet in retrogression thinks that the responsibility is on mine and I have to give the perfect result. So now I'm having an OCD as a planet. Okay, so I have to give the perfect result. And let's suppose if the 10th Lord happens to be in retrogression, what does he think? I have to work more harder and try to get the perfect job for me, which is a very good thing. Now the 7th Lord happens to be in retrograde. Now what he thinks is, okay, I got married, that's fine. I thought 100 qualities have to be met, but 97 are met. 3 qualities are not met. She is not the right spouse for me. Maybe I have to leave her and get married once again. Okay. So the problem comes up when you have retrogression for these things, when perfection is expected, because retrograde planets have high cheshta bala, and perfection is what they are looking at. Now, if the 7th Lord is retrograde, it can mean that the person can be expecting perfection from the spouse, and all spouses are imperfect.
Yes.
Right? No spouse is perfect. No matter how much ever you keep thinking about, there will always be some or the other imperfection in the person. Okay. So conceptually, if any planet is in retrogression, it thinks that the responsibility of sun has given me the responsibility. I have to go back and report it to him saying, look, I have done the perfect job. That is the problem with the planet. Now, if it is a perfect job being a 6th Lord or a 10th Lord or a 2nd Lord, then that may still bring in very good result. Also, you have to look at the position. Okay, so either being in the
Okay.
seventh or lording the seventh is the only place where I think it is a little difficult because of the expectation of perfection. However, even if the planet is retrograde, some may still not express. They will still think, okay, my wife is imperfect, and he may be crying in isolation, and nobody knows. For maybe half hour every day, he'll keep crying, my wife is not perfect, and everything else is normal for him. Some
I
other
have a
guy may
point
take
here.
some other guy may take it to the next level and say, look, I'm not happy with the wife. Let me leave my wife and get another wife. Both can be possible. You have a question, please go ahead and ask.
I have a point, sir.
Hmm.
Like sun is giving its power to some other planet,
Hmm.
and nobody is as perfect like sun.
Correct.
And even though the power is being given, but truth is that no planet can be sun. Sun
Correct.
has light of its own, just like
Correct.
the nakshatras.
Correct.
So no, they are not able to do it in one go. They have to do it in 2, 3 goes and
Correct.
try and retry.
Correct. 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 That is what
Yeah.
the planets will do.
Now you have explained it in 5 minutes. Wow.
Hmm.
This was very good. Now I think it is enough for today, for me at least, to digest.
Okay. Anybody else has more questions?
Sir, I wanted to ask one thing. Like, we say that this is a multidimensional universe.
Hmm.
So, this multi-dimension of universe, we take it from like, we'll see it from Pisces, or from where exactly will we take it, sir?
We've explained this in Shatabisham. Okay. Shatabisha is the multidimensional parallel universe thing. Read that nakshatra.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, sir. Like, all the like bullets, guns,
Hmm.
they are related to. Will we take it from Ketu or will we take it from Mars, sir?
Come on, they're fire, right? You need fire. So Mars
Okay.
and
And
Sun. Sometimes Jupiter also can be fire because it rules a fire sign.
no, sir, I was going through a chart where
See, a little while ago, this man Ustad asked, are you taking planets as Karkatvas? Now, I said, no, I don't use them because of the same reason. Somebody
okay.
will say Ketu is a fire. Somebody will say Mars is a fire. Sun will be fire. Jupiter is also fire. Sagittarius is fire. Aries is fire. Leo is fire. Okay.
Okay. No, sir, the most
Anything from the third of Arudha Lagna is another fire. So, I mean, there are hundreds of things I can show you right now in the chart. Everything will be like fire only now.
no, like
Yeah.
what I wanted to understand in that chart was,
Mm.
this guy was hit by a bullet,
Mm.
and it did not penetrate his lungs. It was stuck in the muscles.
Mm.
And doctor said that
Mm.
it is better if we keep the bullet.
Yeah.
So I want to know that that man lived like the rest of his life. He was
With
living
that bullet.
that bullet.
Mm.
So like, what do I see in that chart?
Go to
So that
Navamsha, you will have a third house Sun or third house Mars, very afflicted.
okay, sir.
Mm.
Okay, thank you.
Or you can see the Arudha, Lagna of the D1 chart, and you will find the third house will have Ketu or Mars.
Okay,
Third Lord will be united with the Mars or Ketu or
okay,
Sun. Mm.
okay, sir.
Why it is the third house is because it's just below the shoulder or something like that, correct? If it is further below, then you have to see the fifth house. Because it has left the lung and it pierced somewhere either above the lung or below the lung. Depending on that, you use the third house or the fifth house.
No, it was near the heart area only.
So
Yeah.
it is the third house.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Mm.
And one more thing, sir.
Mm.
When a person dies while giving birth or just after delivery.
Mm.
So in that case, sir, fifth house affliction.
No. Balarishta yogas are given in Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Apply those yogas in the D30 chart.
Okay.
Okay, there are Arishta yogas. Just after the Rashi Adhyaya is over, there is Balarishta yogas. A lot of people are applying them in the D1 chart. No, they don't work in the D1 chart. You have to apply them in the D30 chart.
Okay, that is the thing. So I was seeing it in D1. I couldn't make out like why did this happen?
It is for the D30 chart.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hmm. Good. Wow. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay. If you don't have questions, I'm good. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.